Okay, here we go. So, now, moving on to the Tundra Campaign, where we will be doing single-player stuff and showing the rest of the units, starting with Scorched Earth. This level has the Mortar Veteran and the Transport Copter. Obviously, it has a bunch of other stuff, but those are the two things that we'll be showing. As well as a couple of other interesting things, I guess. Okay, so here we go, starting off as an artillery unit. And let's stop my bazooka veterans from doing that in a second. And there they go. Alright, do that. So, first things first. Let's transfer over to the Mortar Veteran, which is actually the Grenade Veteran in Battalion Wars 1, but looks the same and acts the same as a Mortar Veteran. I don't think those are going to do anything. So yeah, Mortar Veteran. And actually, let's see, I think there's more over here. Those Tundra artillery actually, they'll actually do work on their own when they're the enemy. Kind of how they were when I was playing as the Western Frontier. Private Hazard, they did a pretty good job on their own. Let's go ahead and launch an attack on them. I don't think killing these units will cause mine to despawn. I'm pretty sure everything I started with should still be here. Also, as for the Mortar Veteran, I'm not sure if you get to use him online. I don't remember if there's any levels that have the xylvanian Mortar Veteran. I'd have to check again, but yeah, I don't remember exactly. And actually, hopefully I didn't mess up the T-copter spawning area. I don't think destroying these units will have anything to do with that. But actually, let me go check. Let's go to a gunship. Should be around here somewhere. Yep, there we go. There's that air transport. I'll let it land first. Wow. Okay then. That air transport was just like, get the hell out of the way, gunship. Kaboom. I knew that happened because I've seen it happen. I've never seen it happen to a friendly unit before. That was outrageous. Okay, so here's the air transport. And its camera is not messed up like the Anglo transport or Tundran transport. And actually, my reasoning, well, the reason I think that the Tundran and Anglo both have that messed up camera is it was probably that the Tundran transport had the messed up camera, and it could very well have been like that in Battalion Wars 1, because I don't think I ever used it in Battalion Wars 1. But Anglo actually, the Anglo Isles units were originally Tundran units. Like when they were testing the Anglo Isles early on, they just used, well, there he goes. They just used Tundran units when they were testing them. So it could be that they just carried, like they never fixed that camera glitch when they made the Anglo transport, which would make sense. And I can't really blame them for that. Let's do one more thing while we're here. Let's go mess with Private Hazard. Actually, no, there's a couple more things I want to do while I'm here. But this is the first of them. Well, actually, there's 3 things. I keep remembering things as I'm going, because I'm going to be honest, I don't plan these... I mean, I plan these videos out, but there's so much stuff it's hard to remember. and half the stuff is just like whatever.
One of my grunts is lost in
So,
the minefield. If you go looking for him, stay as far away from
yes,
those
as
metal grunts
xylvania, you can go rescue Private Hazard. And you know what you get? The gratification you get from Private Hazard is him shooting you in the back while you run. But anyway, this is kind of interesting. You can't get killed by the mines, so the mines actually have an allegiance. I don't think you can play as a landmine. I'm just gonna make a guess on that.
That's our missing grunt. Get Private Hazard out of the minefield double time.
And he'll actually follow me out of here, unless he hits a landmine.
Stay close to Private Hazard, and he'll follow you out of that minefield. But watch out for those mines.
Come on, Hazard. Let's do this. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, that didn't blow him up. I'm really surprised. He got really close to that.
You saved Private Hazard from the minefield. Good job, Commander.
See, you could save Private Hazard, even as xylvania. And then you can just kill him after that. Now the last thing... Let's go... Oh. No, I just remembered another thing I might as well do while I'm here. We can attack those frontier units, because getting near them as xylvania also triggers the attack on them. Which kind of surprised me. I expected Tundra to have to get near them to trigger it.
You found my men, but they're under attack from light tanks and bazooka vets. Nova, I need your assistance.
Commander, reinforce the frontier position immediately. Frontier veteran Novagrad forces, and right now he's very hungry.
And they go down pretty easily, because all they have is mortar veterans and grunts.
That's so Commandant, because the frontier's here to put you
And normally,
on diet.
they would have support from Tundra, from gunships and stuff, but
Just 86 that
not
whole
in this
frontier
situation.
battalion. Afraid you're on your own from here on in, Nova.
So if you were wondering what happens if they do get destroyed, well, that's what happens.
Commiserations, Betty, but know this: serving retribution upon the enemy will be my pleasure.
Now the last thing that I thought was pretty interesting is Gorgi's Mausoleum is actually, I mean obviously it's a structure, but you can actually tell your units to attack it. And I thought that was weird because you can't destroy it. You do no damage. Which is obviously because the only way that you're supposed to destroy it is if you run out of time when they arm the charges. But you can command your units to attack it, and they will attack it continuously, just doing no damage. Which gave me an idea, like you could make this, you could really change this level around for xylvania and make your primary objective to destroy the mausoleum. Kind of like how in the online level, it is destructible if you remember. The battle stations can do damage to it. So, that was something I was thinking about doing, but decided, whatever, I don't really need to. But I'm pretty sure all I would have to do is go into the XML, find the mausoleum, and change it to be able to take damage from other units. And then you would be able to damage it and probably destroy it. I don't think that would crash the game since it is destructible in the online level, like I said. So, there you go. Kind of interesting. And they'll just keep doing that forever. They won't give up, but it'll take no damage. So that's that. Next level. So now we are going into the second level, Operation Nautilus. This level has all of the xylvanian naval units, all of them. And xylvania apparently doesn't have a naval transport, which is a bit surprising, but there's never a level where it would make sense for them to have one, so not a big deal. Look at that. Did you see that dreadnought flip over? That's what happens when you clump too many dreadnoughts together. Oh, well, there goes that one. So let me explain what just happened. That Tundran fleet is obviously bigger than the one you remember from this level. That's because I added a whole bunch of Tundran units here to make it interesting, because I wanted to have a nice little naval battle. So they have like 6 frigates, You can only see one submarine, but that's because the other ones are under the water. And I gave them 4 dreadnoughts, so that is a lot. And I think, if I remember correctly, I also changed this level, and I got rid of all the stat buffs that the player has and the player army has. So that's why my xylvanian dreadnought went down so fast. But it's not a big deal, because I have another one over here. And there's a bunch of battleships. But also, the other problem with this level was, like in similar situations, I had to play as that one dreadnought at the start, so I switched it out for an xylvanian dreadnought, and that's why I was playing as that from the start, and I was so close to all these units. So anyway, how many units do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8! That's a new high. Oh crap, my submarines, I forgot to put them in follow mode. Ah. Might be too late. But yeah, 8 units, so I'm not sure how many I can hold down here, but 8 works. I haven't tested 9 before. So I'm just going to assemble my fleet now, and then I'm going to go fight them. And this level also has acid gas veterans. This is the only single player level that has them. But there are 2 online levels, and I showed them already. Also a bunch of bazooka veterans. And some gunships. 2 of those gunships will respawn. I don't know why. There's no airbase. They just kind of respawn at the side of the map and will fly in, so might as well get them over here to help out. And 6 battleships. So this is the xylvanian dreadnought, as I mentioned. You get to use it online. You get to use all of these online, actually. But having a dreadnought and battleships in the same level is kind of, seems like overkill, definitely. And that's why I added all those Tundra units, because I was like, that is not fair. And it would be way more interesting to go up against a naval fleet that actually has units. And actually, if Tundra wins this this naval battle, that will complete all of their objectives for this naval part. So, just kind of a funny thing. You can see all the gold stars on my units. I'll send in the frigates. Send in the battleships. Send in the submarines. Now let's do this! Things are about to get real. Oh right, my gunships. Should send those in. Well, there goes that. And yeah, look how quickly I go down. That's the lack of stat buffs for you. Alright guys, come on. Let's get our bearings here. I'm thinking I'm not going to win this. Just a gut feeling. I mean, four dreadnoughts is pretty ridiculous. Still though, 6 battleships is a pretty good amount. It's definitely sizable. It's nothing to sneeze at. But dreadnoughts do so much damage to them. Yeah, it's looking like you're gonna do that, Nova. I don't know what you're worried about. What do I have left here? Some gunships, which can't do a whole lot with all those frigates, even though those 3 aren't even noticing me. I don't think I set them to attack on sight, so there's a good chance they won't notice. Oh, nope, they did. They did. Actually, let me send in something for that. I have nothing to send in. Battleship, go. Sunk one of them. Where's this frigate at? Why is this frigate way the heck over here?
Battleships have been eliminated.
What the heck, frigate?
Critical blow to the Kaiser's fleet assembly.
It's actually hard to manage this many units, is something that I've found.
My battleships! Tundran impudence knows no bounds. You shall regret this, Martha Nova.
Kaiser Vlad is so awesome. It's just great. And, yeah, managing this many units is not an easy thing to do, because it's very easy for some to get left behind, especially in naval battles. So you have to be really careful about that. Gunships go. Submarine go. Let's do some serious juking on this dreadnought. Wait, those submarines sunk me anyway. Well then.
Lies beneath the way.
Not sure what I thought I was going to accomplish with that. And those gunships take a long time to get over here. Because... oh, frigate. Because they spawn way over on land. And there goes that.
Entire naval fleet has been eliminated.
So yeah, I figured I would probably lose that.
Not so much. I have entire dreadnought armada assembled here at Novagrad caves.
And speaking of the Novagrad caves,
We must call in the munitions
we're going to be showing something over there in a minute.
towers, then activate this helipad to summon them.
Although I'll probably have to restart the mission
My air transport.
because it's not going to get past this cutscene. Since it's going to try to transfer me to a Tundran unit for the next part of the mission, but I'm playing as xylvania, so it won't work. So I will see you back here in a moment. Okay, so we're back, and I'm in a gunship. Now, what I wanted to show was, normally you don't get to fly around this level, so this is pretty neat. You can kind of fly around and see stuff. But, surprisingly, you can actually fly into the Novagrad caves. That was kind of a shock to me, because you can't go this way, because it's out of bounds, which is, like, where it leads to. But... not sure why they defaulted to, like, way up there for the follow mode one. Never seen that before. But if you fly over here, there's this weird gap in the out of bounds area, which is just asking for you to, like, go through it. But it doesn't let you fly high enough, so it, like, you have to take a little bit of damage and you just kind of bounce on top of it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But you can get through here, and I don't know, I'm not going to on that gunship. Luckily I have unlimited gunships, so I can die as many times as I need to get through here. But I've done it before. See, can I make some good distance on this one? Yep. And there you go. So you can actually fly in here, and it's not out of bounds, which is kind of weird. And obviously, there's no dreadnoughts in here. So that's strange. The reason is probably, again, they're just despawned because there's no Tundran units near them. Or actually, what's more likely is that they're just not here because it's only for the cutscene. So there's that. Or it could just be Kaiser Vlad was bluffing when he said he had those. You never know. And this is kind of cool. It's neat how they had like these little details that you wouldn't even really see unless you cheated to come in here. And you can go under here and see the back of this gate. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. That you could fly in here like this. Nothing to do really, but still kind of a cool... I don't know if I'd call it an Easter egg, but yeah, it's kind of a neat touch. So there's that.
You dishonor your valiant comrade by fleeing the battlefield.
And that's pretty much it for this level. So let's move on to the next one.
Your valiant comrade by fleeing the battlefield.
He just like put me back in out of bounds area. That was weird. So that's Operation Nautilus. Moving on, we have Ice Station X. This one should take a lot less time than the previous missions, because you'll probably notice these two xylvanian videos are going to be a lot longer than any of the other modding videos I've done so far, for units anyway. And that is because I'm showing basically every single xylvanian unit in this video. But this level there's not a whole lot to do besides show the units. So we start out in this anti-air vehicle near the ice station, which, strangely enough, I can't lock onto it, so I can't tell my units to defend it. And my guess is either, again, probably Tundra has to get near it to trigger something, or it's set to be targetable to the enemy only, which is easy. That's an easy thing to change in the XML. So, and as for the anti-air vehicle, this is another one of the units that you get to use in Battalion Wars 1, and you also get to use it online. Not a whole lot to say about it. I can't get out of here and there's nothing to shoot at because there's no Tundran bombers. I could have put some in, but I didn't feel like it because it's not a big deal. And I can't lock onto the barricade either to tell my units to defend it, so let's just move on. Here is the battle station, which I showed in my very first modding video where I just kind of showed the last mission of the game as Tundra. I mean, as xylvania. And something I didn't notice until just recently, I don't know how I overlooked this, but there's no name underneath it over there, which is really weird. And let me transfer to that grunt. If I go underneath it here, like there's the anti-air vehicle, there's no name for the battle station. I don't know why that is. Obviously when you play as it online it has a name, and if you look at it on the map it has a name, or lock onto it as a different unit it has, you know, its name. But no name shows up when you play as it, so kind of a strange thing. I wasn't totally sure why that was. The only other unit that I've seen that has that is the xylvanian Strat Destroyer. It also doesn't have a name when you play as it. But anyway, here's the xylvanian battle station. Still has its light tank turrets from the first game, which I'm guessing they either nerfed or somehow balanced it, because again, light tank turrets seems like a lot better than bazooka veteran turrets. There goes that POW camp. Let's see, what else do I have to show here? Anti-air vehicle, heavy tank. I don't think I talked about it, but I did show this in the online levels, so not really a big deal. Light tanks, bazooka assault. Yeah, again, this level, definitely a lot less to show as opposed to the previous levels. And there's not much I can do since the only objectives right now are to defend the anti-air towers. So that's that. And I guess I'll move on. Okay, let's finish this up. We are on to the last mission, the Reckoning. I know I showed this already in my first modding video, so people, most of you probably have already got to see the Strat Destroyer and the Fighter, which are the two units that are unique to this level. But I wanted to show all the units for xylvania, and I didn't want to just, I don't know, be lazy and not do it because I already showed them. I might as well do it so that I have all of their units conveniently in these two videos.
Soon my mining spider shall extract it.
Okay, but it's a bit different than it was last time. This time, instead of starting as a heavy tank and having to complete an objective to get here, I did it the smart way and simply added an additional Strat Destroyer to the beginning so that I don't have to get through that objective. So the generators aren't neutral the way they were last time. and things are just set up differently. Because back when I did that, that was very early on when I had learned how modding works. So I didn't even know how to add units at the time. But anyway, here is the xylvanian fighter. And this unit shows up, I think, in 2 levels. It shows up here, and it shows up in the 3rd co-op level online. But you don't ever normally get to use this unit. Now, let's move on to the Strato Destroyer, which this is the only level in the game that has any Strato Destroyer. And as you know, the Frontier Strato Destroyer is gone from the game. And as I talked about before, it might be possible to bring it back through modding, but I'm not totally sure. Now, I already explained this, but I'm going to explain it again in case people are seeing this for the first time. But the xylvanian Strato Destroyer, or just Strato Destroyers in general, work different than they did in the first game. Because in the first game, the AI controlled the bombs and you controlled the homing missiles, but now you control both. So for ground units, or if you're not locked down at all, you drop bombs like that. But if you lock onto an air unit, which let me go see if I can find some.
Keep your eyes open. The gulags are well protected with an anti-air tower.
There's one. I fire homing missiles now because I'm locked onto the gunship. So that's cool, and I really wish that they would have actually allowed players to use the Strato Destroyer without modding, but oh well. And I mean, in my opinion, it actually controls pretty well too. Like, totally missed that. I think, like, in the first game, I know that they were kind of sluggish and stuff, but I mean, look at how well it turns in this game. So I don't know. I'm sure they had their reasons for it, but seeing how well it works, it is a bit surprising. And, of course, without properly testing... I mean, without properly testing in a PvP situation, like having a fighter go up against a Strato Destroyer to see if a fighter can kind of just hang behind it, like in the first game, it's hard to say exactly how good it is. But just going up against AI opponents, it definitely seems good now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And let's see. I guess now, I do still have some other things that I wanted to show that I neglected. So, last time I did this level, I talked about the mining spider turret that you can't normally, you know, obviously you can't normally use it, but you can't normally control transfer to it unless you get destroyed near it, kind of like some other things that I've shown, like the searchlights and the anti-air tower for the Solar Empire. Hopefully this is close enough, it should be. But if I get destroyed right here, it should transfer me to it. Oh, no. It did not. Okay, well that confirms one thing. The generators have to be destroyed in order for me to control transfer to it. Okay, and we're back. I just made a little edit to this level, and I changed all of these to neutral again. Small detail you may not have noticed before, but last time I did this level and I changed them to neutral, I only changed them to appear neutral, but their allegiance was actually Tundran. But I recently found out there is actually a neutral allegiance. So, besides like xylvanian, Tundra, and Western Frontier, all the allegiances, there's actually a neutral one. Which makes me wonder, why don't they make use of that more often? Because it's hardly used for anything. But as you can see on the map, they're actually showing up as gray because they are actually neutral allegiance. So, let's see, can I destroy these now? That's obviously not the right unit to use. Nope! Why can I not damage these? They should be damageable because they're neutral now. Weird. So I guess when something's neutral, that doesn't necessarily mean you can damage it. That makes me wonder if the Tundran territories can damage it. Because maybe things with neutral allegiance kind of count as being on everyone's side. I didn't actually think that that would be the case. Well, whatever. I'll be back in like 2 seconds when I change it again. Okay, so I came up with an even better way to get past that objective. I don't know how I didn't think of this first, seeing as I just got done with my video where I changed the generators in 2-2 to have 0 health. So I just did the same thing here. Kaboom! So that takes care of that. And some other stuff happens, and then here we are. So, let's go to a battle station. Actually, I need a gunship. And let's see if this will work. Hopefully it does. Alright, here we go.
You can take direct command of these tanks, too. We're only gonna beat these Xers if we
Ah,
work together, right?
there we go. Yeah, it worked. So here we are. This is up. Let's see if I can shoot something. Can I zoom out? I can't really zoom out. Oh, maybe I can. It's very awkward, I will say that. Not sure what that gunship's doing over there. But as with the searchlights and the anti-air tower, it tries to reposition itself all the time, which makes it kind of hard to use. But it does work. As you can see, I'm shooting lasers. And probably not going to hit anything. Oh, there's more gunships. And zooming out, I don't know. Zooming out doesn't... I mean, I guess it helps a little bit. Sometimes. It's still really hard to aim at things when it keeps doing this. But as long as I'm locked onto something, I can shoot at it, regardless of if it tries to reposition its camera. So, yeah, there you go. I'm pretty sure in my original video of this level, someone actually wanted me to show this. So, I hope you're happy. This thing is not very accurate either. Like, its accuracy varies a lot. Like, it's accurate right now, then it just kind of spreads out a whole bunch. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's that. Okay, and then one last thing I wanted to show, because I just remembered, was there's kind of a special MG tower in this level that's not seen anywhere else. And the camera is really terrible on it, too. Actually, let me see. Is the other one better? Oh, that's the only one. So yeah, this MG tower, I don't think it's anywhere else in the game, but, I mean, despite the terrible camera, I can still shoot. And zooming out doesn't make any difference. But yeah, I just kind of remembered that that was there. Sort of interesting, I guess. I kind of wish there were more stylized MG towers like this and stuff. It would have been kind of cool. But oh well. So that's that. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. As I said before, I'm not totally sure what I'm going to move on to next. I'm probably not going to have anything up for this next week because this is actually the last week of school. So I'm going to be busy this week. But after that, it'll be winter break, and I'll be able to do all sorts of things. So, I guess we'll see what happens, and see you next time.